How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and it looks like the FTC has, they've struck again, and this time they have appealed the decision by Judge Corley, and, well, it just seems like they just don't know when to quit. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of questions as to what this means for the current ABK deal. I mean, they just can't stop taking the L's at this point. And honestly, at this point, I do believe that the US institution, the government, should actually turn around and say, right, Lena, if you want to pursue this, personally, it's coming out of your pocket and not taxpayers' pockets. And let's see how quickly she believes that she's going to win. Because as of right now, in my opinion, the only reason she's doing this is because there is not a single nickel coming out of her pocket, and it's the taxpayers that are footing the bill. She was already grilled in Congress about wasting taxpayers' money and why she continues to do it, even though she knows she's going to lose, and yet here she is again doing exactly the same thing. Maybe this is also the reason, after they probably have communicated with the CMA, why the CMA is, tagging things along for some Hail Mary to get that gotcha moment and try to turn things around. Obviously, that's not going to happen because there's a plethora of reasons as to why that is not going to happen. So let's get on with the discussion and get on with the actual video. So as you can see here, our good resident Florian Mueller, the FTC has indeed filed, under seal for now, its opening brief with the United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit. The one that actually, instantly rejected them. They've gone back and appealed again. It's nothing to worry about, but a waste of government and party, as Microsoft and Activision get to respond, resources. And as we can see here, filed under seal, appellant FTC notion to file document under seal and submit seal type. Basically, we won't know the details of this brief for a little while, maybe a couple of weeks, once they can release a redacted version. But it's pretty pathetic of the FTC to go down this route. And as you can see here, the FTC has a deadline on Wednesday to file the opening brief in its appeal of Judge Corley's decision to deny, and everyone assumed, the FTC said that they're stepping down, but it looks like I'm guessing there was really close discussions with the CMA. This is just my conjecture, by the way, my speculation. And they believe that they may actually have something. I don't get what, but it's crazy. As you can see here, the reason it doesn't matter is that the deal should normally close before the appeals court even holds a hearing. October at the earliest, I think. Now, this is an important point here. This case should be resolved by August the 29th. If it actually exceeds August the 29th, it means that the CMA is literally stalling and looking for anything they can find to basically turn this into a situation where they can try and block the deal. At that point, the Microsoft, like I've been saying, they've already got clearance from 41 countries. Only Australia and the UK are remaining because the FTC lost. Well, at this point, I assume the Australians are waiting for the UK, but if they're not, then with their approval, it will just be the UK. The UK stands alone. But by August the 29th, this should be resolved. My hope is that this will be resolved before August 29th. It will be resolved in time for Gamescom, August the 23rd, 24th. So we can actually have a really nice, massive celebration of games coming to Game Pass for users, for them to enjoy, consumer-friendly practices, which is good for consumers. But we'll just have to wait and see how the CMA plays out on this. And after the hearing, it would still then take some time to offer an opinion. So let's stay focused on the UK. So what Florian is saying here is this decision with the FTC appealing, which is completely, nonsensical, is so far out and so far away from the actual deadline. It even eclipses the actual deadline that they currently have in place, which is on October the 18th. There's no point in worrying about it now. And even if anything was to come from this, by that point, the deal would have been closed. And as far as gamers are concerned, it's gaming as usual. Everyone gets to play their games on Game Pass, And at that point, it's down to the bureaucrats within Microsoft and the US government to deal with what they need to deal with. As a consumer, we would not see any difference. Of course, I believe the FTC will lose the appeal anyway. Everyone assumes they will lose. I mean, even the FTC know that they're going to lose. The only reason they're doing this is to highlight some form of relevancy, and I do believe the CMA probably has something to do with this as well. The timeout part just makes it irrelevant. It is totally irrelevant. This is a separate procedural track from the withdrawn, for now, FTC in-house case. The deal closing, FTC can, and presumably, they're not crazy, will drop this stuff. I mean, that's the hope, right? That they're going to see some sense and actually come to some form of understanding that what they're doing is wasting taxpayers' money. So as we can see here, the FTC appealing again, not again. This one they never dropped, but they didn't get a rapid victory on appeal last month, and now they're still trying to slow things down. Don't worry about it. If there's a UK clearance this month, the FTC can't stop the deal from closing. Even if there isn't a acceptance from the UK government, Microsoft can still close the deal and push forward as per normal, and they'll just have to pull Activision out of the UK. I know that's a really, really big thing to do, but I think at this point, if they do that, it will show such huge intent from big tech in the way that they're not going to just sit idly by and let, bias dictate legal legislation. And in my opinion, I mean, the fact is, there's nothing left here to justify this deal not going through. Sony just recently announced their Cronus cloud gaming system. I'm going to cover that in another video, but where is the FTC and the CMA all over them? Their games will only be available on their platform, and Sony is the number one gaming manufacturer and publisher right now. They are the market leader, and they are coming out and saying, we are going to offer cloud gaming. We're going to offer 4K, which is pretty cool. And at the same time, they're turning around and saying, all of our games will be only on our platform. We're not going to be giving it anything to GeForce Now or Boosteroid or any other cloud platform. We don't give two craps about them. We will only support our own ecosystem. And that is where their position is, right? Where's the FTC and the CMA to go after them? Of course they won't go after them. They're not going to touch their precious PlayStation. But again, like I said, I'll touch on to that on another video. But as you can see here, I'm a big fan of Sony PlayStation, Jim Ryan. I mean, people are just getting sick. Lena Khan needs to take an L and go away. FTC wasting their time. And it's the biggest problem here, like I said at the start of the video, is that they're wasting taxpayers' money. That is the biggest thing. Waiting for the CMA. There are so many bigger issues affecting livelihood of Americans, and this is the hill the FTC is fighting for. What a disgrace. She is an absolute disgrace to the US public. She is wasting so much of taxpayers' money that could be invested in other areas that actually need it. The CMA is counting on the Ninth Circuit, and they're stalling this. FTC and the CMA are found colluding again. I actually genuinely believe this. I know it's some people may say it's a far stretch, but I genuinely believe that this is the case. For the FTC to work so hard against Microsoft, they should work on companies being more anti-consumer, like the cable companies and other expensive resources that cost an arm and a leg. I mean, Disney and Hulu just announced that they're increasing their prices again. It's ridiculous that they're increasing their prices again, and this is still going on. Where is it? I actually said, this just screams the CMA holding on to any fiber that the FTC decision can be reversed. It may be nothing, but the FTC simply would not have appealed if the CMA approved. They are each holding on to each other as last scarp to try a Hail Mary. It's actually pretty sad. And Lena Khan seems to be taking this personally. Very. Maybe the public should appeal to the president or whatever the US state is that actually deals with the FTC for this appeal to come out from her personal bank account rather than the public's taxpayers' pockets. It's easy to spend other people's money, but your own? She will back the hell down instantly. And I genuinely believe that, right? The simple fact is, if the money was coming out of her own pocket, I do think that she would be instantly going back and saying, you know what, I think we're about done here. We can move on to the next topic. But here we are. The FTC just doesn't seem to be going away. It's like that annoying fly in your room that no matter how many times you try to hit it away or spray at it with, a fly spray, it just won't go away and it just keeps on buzzing around you, trying to be as annoying as possible. And that is genuinely how I see Lena Khan at this point. She just doesn't know when to quit. It's like it's a personal agenda to make sure that this deal falls through. But there's no way I can ever see an appellate hearing court turn this down. It's just a waste of time. But they want to waste their time. And I do believe with the CMA getting wind of this, getting that sniff of that beautiful FTC odor that's coming their way, I actually think that they believe that there's a Hail Mary chance of them actually doing something. But I think they're going to quickly realize that is not the case. This is beyond the joke at this point, and they just need to stop. And I really hope that this, once the CMA ruling comes out and that this passes, whether it's with a divestiture or not, and even the divestiture now is, up to question. But again, I'll cover that in my video with the PlayStation Cronus. The FTC will more than likely, as Florian says, just drop the case entirely, because at that point, the US will be all on its own as the only institution trying to appeal this. Everyone else, including New Zealand, has passed it. So, here we are. That's it. That's the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.